Yep, it's me again. They hate us. This is why they give a fuck about us at the same time. As always, I am your host, JD Miles, aka the MGTOW Avenger. The MGTOWs, they love to hate. Even the ones that claim everybody loves to hate them, loves to hate MGTOW at the same time as always, which is why they keep us relevant to this very day. And I'm back again for tonight's topic of discussion. Former LA Dodgers star pitcher Trevor Bauer has been awarded nearly $310,000 in a defamation suit after he was found innocent due to being accused of sexual assault. Hang on a second. I ain't got a problem with that, like Willie D says, but some retarded fucks do. Now, Trevor Bauer, for those y'all who don't know, who was falsely accused of sexual assault, then come to find out that his accuser lied about the entire thing. And because of her lie, he got kicked out of the LA Dodgers and can't even play for Major League Baseball ever again due to a bitch lying about him. And yes, this is a grudge I do have with these sports organizations when it comes to players being falsely accused of sexual assault, rape, and everything like this. And yes, I'm happy that he did file a defamation suit and won that case. But before I go any further, shout out to MTR, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. I'll leave the link to his full video in the comment section. Go check it out. But enough of me talking. Let's get down to business, shall we?
A judge has ordered a San Diego woman who's accused former LA Dodger pitcher Trevor Bauer of sexual assault, ordered her to pay him nearly $310,000. The LA Superior Court judge says Lindsay Hill breached the terms of an agreement with Bauer in 2023 to settle their dueling lawsuits. Hill had sued him for assault and sexual battery. Bauer sued her for defamation. He was released by the Dodgers after Hill's sexual assault allegations led to a Major League Baseball investigation.
And to be honest, I'm happy that she has to come out the pockets for lying to him after all the hell she put him through. And it's about damn time they stop letting these perpetrating ass bitches off the hook. And believe me, I should know this. When they go around falsely accusing men of rape and sexual assault, they don't know that they open up a can of worms on these men. And believe me, I've been through this fucking shit. I have. Men losing their jobs, constant harassment. You know what I mean? The shit goes on and on. But you got retarded fucks out here talking about, oh, you need to get over it, you need to move on. First off, shut y'all retarded fuck asses up forever, because you don't know what these men been through. And you will never know unless it happens to you. And believe me, I pray to God it doesn't. But unless it happens to y'all can't say shit. Because y'all know the grand scale of all the hell a man who's been wrongly convicted of rape and sexual assault go through. So for y'all retarded fucks to tell these men, oh, they need to move on with their lives, First off, walk them out in their shoes, then come back and talk. Let's continue.
Investigation and his suspension from the sport.
Now, ABC News is doing an absolutely horrendous job of documenting what exactly that this means. So we're going to go through it way more than what they had. Now, if you're new to the channel, over the past year and a half, I've been keeping up with this Trevor Bauer situation. If you don't know, he was a former MLB pitcher, former Cy Young Award winner, which is like the highest award that you can win as a pitcher, and was ousted from Major League Baseball after the woman in question that we're talking about accused him of R.S. assault. She had a bunch of pictures tied to which she was alleging, had this released all onto the internet. The MLB and Classic, guilty at the point of accusation when it refers to S assault against men, threw him immediately out of the league.
This is a landmark decision. It is the longest suspension of its kind, and it is a stunning move by the Major League Baseball commissioner in response to allegations of sexual assault and domestic violence. Some fans are now saying they believe this is far too harsh a punishment for a man they believe is not guilty. The firestorms swirling around Dodgers pitcher Trevor Bauer take a shocking new turn, with Major League Baseball suspending the right-hander for 2 full seasons without pay, effective immediately. According to reports, the suspension does not include the 99 regular season games Bauer has missed since being placed on administrative leave on July 2nd, 2021. MLB announced this decision following an investigation into domestic violence and sexual assault allegations made against the pitcher. The Dodgers say the organization takes all allegations of this nature very seriously.
So although a $310,000...
Yeah, they take it so seriously, they'll believe what a woman tells them, and they'll just go ahead and release a player because of that. And no, Trevor Bauer ain't the only athlete that been through that. No, these sports organizations like the NFL, the NBA, Major League Baseball, they do their own investigations. First off, these sports organizations are not detectives. And rather, they suck at being detectives at that. They do their own quote unquote investigation and just decided to say, you know what, we're gonna release these players, no, despite whether or not they're guilty or innocent. And yes, I ain't gonna bullshit here. The people are starting to get tired of this shit. It's one thing where even if they do their investigation, they decide, you know what, that player will be suspended until all this clears out. It's one thing to wait till whether or not everything is on the table, a verdict is out, whether the player is guilty or not, then make a decision. It's a whole nother thing completely when you got sports organizations that will automatically punish these players before the real information comes out. But these sports organizations, they believe all women to a point to where they will release players, fire coaches, and all this other type of stuff, all because a bitch decided to lie about being raped and sexual assaulted. And in the end, even if that player is found innocent, he still suffers. And there's no use of me lying. This is one of the many reasons why. This is one of the many reasons why I'm starting to lose interest in sports anymore. because of retarded fuck ass shit like this. Let's continue.
$10,000 award is nothing to shake a stick at. Just think about the millions of dollars that he lost by losing the opportunity to perform, something that he's worked his entire life for, absolutely destroyed because of hashtag believe all women. I find it so interesting that there's so many people today that say that this just doesn't happen.
Sexual assault allegations ruin man's life. Name one. Name one man whose life has been ruined by sexual assault allegations.
God damn, what an ugly bitch. Ma'am, why just name one when I could go down the entire list? Let's see here. Johnny Depp, Brian Banks, Matt Ariza, you know, the punk guy for the Buffalo Bills until a woman falsely accused him of rape. Got released from the Bills, can't play in the NFL anymore. Then kind of find out he was innocent. Who else? Sean Oakman, another athlete that not only went through that same shit, but even his coach ended up getting fired because of a lying bitch. And yes, I call them bitches for a reason. Don't like it, fuck your feelings. Jonathan Majors, Matt Hewitt. And yes, as a father, it saddens me when I heard about Matt Hewitt. He was accused of molesting his own daughter. Then come to find out his baby mom's coerced the entire shit. Kobe Bryant. Oh, we can't forget Kobe Bryant. Liam Allen. Jordan Tringrove. How about the Duke lacrosse players? David Evans, Colin Findery, and Reed Silliman. Mark Pearson. And we all remember Jerry from Dr. Phil. If I find that episode, I'll put it in the comments section. But this one I'm about to talk about, in which for those of y'all who saw my post, this one right here made me sick to the stomach. Fellas, I'm going to tell you about Michael Fife and how Believe All Women led to his fucking murder. Yes, a girl accused Michael Fife of rape. Her brother, who believed what his sister said, tackled Michael Fife to the ground, causing him blunt force trauma, which he died from. And yes, I know this happened back in 2019. But ain't it funny? 6 years later, no arrest, no conviction. So basically, an innocent man lost his life because everybody wants to believe all women. And this is why I do this shit for. We don't need another repeat. And this is the reason why most of us advocate for men who are wrongly and falsely accused of rape and sexual assault, because apparently our government, our system doesn't give a fuck about these innocent men being convicted. And no, I haven't even got to the men who were found convicted, who are found convicted, who served years, even decades, for rape and sexual assault, which they did not do. But you got stupid bitches like her making light of the situation. Ugly, stupid bitches like her making light of this situation as if it's no fucking big deal. Go fuck yourself, ma'am. Let's continue.
Allegation.
But suddenly I was guilty until proven innocent.
They slandered my name. They fired my coach. And I felt like all that was on me.
I asked all of you.
Now, to all you retarded fucks out there who wants to go around telling these men who are in this situation they need to move on, how the fuck can they move on past this shit? That right there is a scar for life. And telling them to move on, it's like it's like covering a deep stab wound with a fucking Band-Aid. Some things you can't easily move on past, and I should know. Let's continue.
All of you to wait and hear the truth before you label or condemn me. Don't treat me like a criminal, because I am innocent.
Next victim, star pitcher for the Dodgers. A text Lindsey Hill sent to a friend before she ever even met me. What should I steal? She asked another, in reference to visiting my house for the first time. The answer? Take his money.
Everybody should be putting their emotions aside at the point of allegation and go down into the facts, because if you get into the facts of this case, this dumb, broad clown bimbo didn't even do a good job at lying.
What he produced was text messages showing, forgive me, this isn't a nice way of putting it, but it's literally true, that she asked for it, that she wanted rough sex with him. They had 2 sexual encounters, and that she literally was asking for him to beat her up, to choke her out, to slap, to punch her, and that is why she was denied the original restraining order, the permanent restraining.
Now, hearing all that, who does that remind y'all of? Yep, exactly. Let's continue.
Restraining order. Let me read to you what the judge said when denying the permanent restraining order. The judge said, Ms. Hill's injuries, stances, merely seeing photographs such as these, would serve as a per se condemnation of the perpetrator of such injuries. But the judge went on to say that she believed Hill, quote, had objectively voiced consent to specific acts of rough, and the injuries she suffered could be viewed as a natural consequences of the acts to which she consented. Petitioner had and has the right to engage in any kind of sex as a consenting adult that she wants with another consenting adult. She was not ambiguous about wanting rough sex in the party's first encounter and wanting rougher sex in the second encounter, the judge ruled, adding that Mr. Bauer did not pursue the woman or threaten to coerce her into sexual activity. Before I give you the floor, I'm just going to read for the audience those texts, okay, that the judge was looking at.
Oh, boy.
Not make their way around all the publications that condemned Trevor Bauer like that when they saw the.
So basically, she's about to show texts that none of these retarded fuck ass media didn't want to cover, because they was too busy trying to condemn him more than show that he was innocent. And this is the reason why. I don't trust modern day media. I don't trust court of public opinion. Because I'll go ahead and say this shit. Even if you are proven to be innocent, they'll still try to find ways to make you feel guilty. And that's a fact. Let's continue.
They saw the pictures of the injuries. Here's number one. He writes, we only have segments, but he writes to her, yes, ma'am, whatever you want. She writes, butt off when it's time to out. Thanks, you're the best. He writes, you want to go out, huh? She writes, see, that was a game changer. This is clearly after the first interlude. He writes, tell me more. She responds, never been more turned on in my life. Give me all the pain. Roar. Then on page 2, she writes, now that I know what it feels like to wake up from it, though it'll probably feel just as good to wake up from that. She's talking about getting doubt. He writes, God, you just tried so much. She writes, mission accomplished then. He writes, now I just want my arm around you from behind. She responds, do it harder. And they keep going like this.
Information like this video, which was taken by Lindsay Hill herself the morning after she claimed she was brutally attacked, emotionally traumatized, and desperate.
Now this is the footage. This is the footage right here, because this is a key crucial detail. This footage was taken around the same time she claimed that she was attacked. But if she was attacked, not only why is she smiling while still being with her alleged attacker, but 2, she claims that she was physically abused. She was punched. But you don't see no scars, no gashes, no black eyes, no chipped tooth, no broken nose, no nothing. Yet somehow she was attacked. Let that sink in.
Desperate to get away from me. Now we have the metadata, so there can be no dispute. It was taken mere minutes before she left my house on the morning of May 16th, 2020.
And she has the nerve to smile in that video. Oh, God damn it, you can't make this shit up.
Without my knowledge or consent, of course. In it, you can see her lying in bed next to me while I'm sleeping, smirking at the camera without a care in the world, or any marks on her face. I think it paints a pretty clear picture of what actually happened the evening of May 15th and why the video was originally concealed from us.
Lindsay, I think there are a lot of survivors who would say you don't look traumatized there and you don't look beaten, and this is...
And speak of the devil. Fellas, here's Trevor Bauer's false accuser. This is going to be interesting. I can see that.
And this is allegedly after you say that he brutally attacked you and you had bruises all over your body, you had bruises all over your face. I don't see any bruises there, and I certainly don't see a woman who's just been traumatized by something horrible.
Again, super valid. I think that I woke up that morning, and the best way to explain that video is I hadn't seen my entire body yet. I had no idea what had happened, considering, I was unconscious for most of it. I had no idea what had happened to my full body.
But if it was that severe, wouldn't you already feel pain? Wouldn't you already have bruises on your face? I mean, you say that he punched you in the face, but where are the bruises?
Where are the bruises?
Yeah, so that's something that has not been publicly released, or he won't talk about, but over and over again in this process, we have handed him pictures that were taken between 20 and 30 minutes right after that video was taken of the bruises.
Now notice how she's trying so hard and so desperate to try to keep up the image of still trying to be a victim. Despite the fact that everybody is calling her out on her lying ass bullshit. Ma'am, the jig is up. Everyone now knows that you're lying, yet you're still trying to paint yourself as the victim. Sad and pathetic.
The bruising starting to develop, of the scratching, and it has been time and time again verified through metadata. It was a matter of being in the correct lighting, the spacing to take the right thing. And another difference is, iPhone camera versus a Snapchat recording. that. So there is solid bulletproof evidence of those bruising marks, scratches, things that were provided to their team from day one.
He also released these text messages that came.
Ma'am, would you please stop the cap? You are not a victim. You have been exposed lying on a man claiming that he sexually assaulted you and beaten you. And yet you still trying to be the victim. Stop the cap.
That came out in court indicating that you had planned the whole thing out. So I want to read some of these texts from you to a friend between the two of you before you met Trevor, this one. Next victim, star pitcher for the Dodgers. Okay. Victim is an interesting choice of words.
I agree. Next victim, huh? While trying to be a victim yourself. Let's continue.
Allow you a chance to explain yourself. But after you agreed to meet, you asked your friend what you should steal. Your friend answered his money. He says, another one from you to a friend, I'm going to his house Wednesday. I already have my hooks in. You know how I roll. With a screenshot in which you told him, tryouts don't scare me, Bauer. Pick a day and I am there. Here's some more after you and Trevor met up. Net worth is $51 million, to which your friend responds, you better secure that bag. Your text, need daddy to me out, being an absolute whore to try to get in on his $51 million. You say this wasn't a setup. How can you expect anyone to believe that?
Because it damn sure looked like a setup to all of us here. She knew exactly what she was doing. She was trying to get to him to get to his money. What fucking gold digger. And when that didn't work, you want to throw out your victim card. She wanted to be the girl who cried rape. Let's continue.
That's a great question. I really appreciate you having me on to even have this conversation. Obviously, there's a lot going on around this, so I really appreciate people who are asking questions about it. The first thing I want to say is, I think that Trevor did this intentionally with the text messages and how he framed this video. There's several things in it that...
Ma'am, stop the retarded fuck-ass cap. You knew what the fuck you was doing, and the fact that people calling out your bullshit, you're now trying to place blame back on your victim. And you think people are so dumb they'll believe your retarded fuck shit, huh?
That are not correct. And I just want to start out by saying, it's so valid for people to question those text messages. But the root of the problem here is that he is presenting this as one conversation, when in reality he had thousands of messages to choose from, took those, made it look sequential, which it was not. There was no combined screenshot of those things going on one after the other. And as I said last night as well, there's no text message that ever exists. Otherwise he would have, put it out there, combining, anything about a setup through.
Fellas, take a good look at the reporter's face. Yeah, take a good look at the reporter's face. She ain't buying her retarded fuck ass excuses here. And neither are we. Let's continue.
Through rough finances all in one. Those were handpicked, and they were from multiple different conversations all before we met up. And I think that the video in general doesn't even talk about what actually happened between us two, which is what would have come out during a jury trial. These were all messages that happened before. And then, of course, the video is so valid as well for people to ask questions about.
By the way, that's the play now, gentlemen. And shout out to Shannon Sharp. What they'll do is...
Ding, 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 ding. Yep, that definitely reminds us of Shannon Sharp in his situation. But yeah, notice the lying bitch wants to blame everybody, including Trevor Bauer, but herself. Even after even after she gets called out for lying, after getting called out for scheming and plotting, she's still trying to paint herself as a victim, despite the fact that everybody knows that she's clearly lying her ass off. Let's continue.
Do is that they'll act like they're heavily into this BDSM lifestyle, get marks or damage on their body, take photos, and then blackmail them. Now let's get into some of the details of this $310,000 that he was awarded, just so we can cover more information. Former Dodgers pitcher Trevor Bauer has been awarded nearly $310,000 in a default judgment against a San Diego woman who accused him of assault for breaching the terms of an agreement that they reached in 2023 to settle their dueling lawsuits. Now, Bauer filed a complaint that said, hey, listen, we had our settlement agreement, yet you still went elsewhere and falsely stated 22 times, mostly on the internet, that she received money from him as part of the settlement accord. Now, what's interesting about this, and this is portion of the play as well, is that when there's one assault allegation, if there's other women in your life that are about this lying life, they will then come forth with their own allegations as well. There was another young gold-digging lady that happened to be up on Pop the Balloon that came forward with her own allegations as well that was proven to be false, but that one was actually indicted for fraud.
You're going to see Trevor Bauer's accuser.
Oh, the irony.
Arrested for fraud. She's going to literally be begging him.
Oh, yeah, I remember her. She wanted to jump on the gold digging bandwagon, trying to jump up and claim that he sexual assaulted me too. Also lying her fucking ass off. Didn't have the nerve to be on Pop the Balloon Define Love, looking for a man. Man, I thank God. Thank the Lord nobody picked her ass. Let's continue.
To have sex with her. In females, for example, hormones present at ovulation can drive a woman to choose a cocky, confident man with a slight stubble and more masculine features. Men can sniff out an ovulating woman just by smelling her t-shirt. Women appear to prefer the smell of a man, dissimilar genes, which could give her a boost up the evolutionary ladder. I guess you smelled cocky and confident with slight stubble. I did make that comment that your shoulders look broad and are strong. My feminine lenses were on. Then she just comes says it, can I sleep with you? She says, I just want to sleep next to you again. I will be very quiet, promise. And I will sleep through. In the morning,
She wanted. She wanted that D so bad. She wanted.
I'll have to leave and will slip out with a blank. She keeps begging. I'm not certain, but can I sleep over there later? I'm not certain if, but can I sleep there? It's peaceful for me. After they slept together, she asked Trevor Bauer for a sample of his sperm so she can have his baby.
At one point, she even requested a sample of my sperm so she could have my child whenever she wanted to in the future.
So Bauer said hell to the nizzo on the...
And rightfully so. Can I sample your sperm? Why? So you could take a turkey baster, impregnate yourself, trap him with a baby so you could put him on child support? Yeah, we all know that old textbook plan of a gold digger. Let's continue.
On the sperm donor request. Then this woman, Lindsay Hill, made her false allegations against Bauer. So guess what? Adonis said, I slept with him too. Let me say he forced me to have an so I can get that money too.
More than a year after the one time we slept together, and only after Lindsay Hill made up her false allegations, Adana retained a lawyer. She then demanded $3.6 million and claimed I forced her to have an abortion, leaving her emotionally devastated and irretrievably damaged by it. But here's the thing, she never had an abortion because she was never even pregnant, and that's corroborated by her own medical records.
Then Adana just said, hey, let's just stop with it. He assaulted me too.
She made a bogus sexual assault claim and filed a civil suit against me.
Oh.
In that version of her story, she claimed, for the first time, by the way, that there was
I swear to God, these conniving ass gold diggers disgust me.
consensual sex. But her texts from the next morning show what actually happened. Remember this text in which she explains why she came on to me?
Now, she did find a law firm who would negotiate whether she could get a settlement or not. How do we know that? Well, here is the email. Great. I appreciate your time and input today and am glad we can agree to $750K to $3.6 million as a settlement bracket. As explained on the phone, we will start high and understand the lowest you will accept to settle is $750K. Have a beautiful day. And she writes, I agree, I appreciate, and thank you.
God damn it. You can't make this shit up.
Then we had a problem. She was saying she had an abortion, but all the documents and all the medical records said she was never pregnant. Now, because the evidence was so not there, her lawyers had to drop her. Here's the email. Quote, to confirm without proof of the abortion or even a date of the abortion, we cannot continue to represent you. We urge you to consult with other attorneys who may have different standards. This is
man.
You're full of crap. Good luck. Yeah. So then Adana found some other lawyers to represent her, but Trevor Bauer had some more ammo. He sent them over an audio recording of her disproving all of her claims on tape.
And shared an audio recording I had in which Adana contradicts her own claims and asks me for money.
Now Adana got some new attorneys. So now with all this evidence, the audio recording, no medical records even show she had an abortion. And on top of that, she was never even pregnant. These last attorneys had to come to Jesus moment and claim that, hey, we got to drop you because you're full of crap. Quote, hi, Adana. As your legal counsel, we have all agreed that the recording is detrimental to your case, to the point that we are very likely not to be able to continue representation of you on this matter. We are requesting a copy of the recording to verify the authenticity. I know this is difficult news, but without medical records of your abortion and a recording like this is what we feel is insurmountable.
Hugs! Hugs!
Now that we got
Ma'am, your gold digging and plotting has failed you miserably. Now you went on Pop the Balloon to Find Love, and they got those men and chose you because 9 times out of 10, she would have set those men up as well. Let's continue.
Out the way, let's go back to Lindsay Hill. On Monday, Judge Daniel Crowley ordered Hill to pay Bauer $309,000. Now, there is no way that she has that amount of money within her bank account, her assets. And my thing is that I think that Trevor should be doing essentially what Cardi B is doing to Tasha K, which is to follow every single injunction possible to garnish her wages. I want not only
straight up. And one thing you fellas need to learn about these gold diggers. They would if they had that money to pay that shit off, they wouldn't be trying to get what athletes, actors, you name it, musicians, you name it. So now I bet the entire farm that she's trying to get with a high value, 6-figure or more to try to get this paid off. I bet you. Let's continue.
Not only Lindsay Hill to suffer, but anyone else involved in her legacy to go down with her. For her grandchildren shall be punished for her thought-like mistakes. And I don't think that he should have any mercy on her whatsoever, because she stopped at nothing to ruin your life. And the amount of money that he would have accumulated throughout his life has been cut by millions and millions of dollars that he will never be able to see because of her shenanigans. In a suit brought last October, Bauer contended that Lindsey Hill was liable for $10,000 for each breach of settlement agreement. He's being nice to me. The former Cy Young winner also sought attorney fees, costs, and prejudgment interest. In February, Bauer's attorney filed court papers seeking $273,000. According to revised court papers filed in April with Judge Crowley, the amount had climbed to roughly $310,000, composed of $220,000 in damages. That's the 22 times the 10. $69,000 in attorney fees, and $4,200 in costs, and about $14,000 in interest. So essentially, because Lindsey Hill never showed up, then he was awarded the default judgment. Because Hill has a long history of making false and defamatory claims against me on social media, I was concerned that Hill would falsely claim that I paid her to resolve the lawsuit, Bauer said. Now, again, he signed a 3-year agreement with the Dodgers back in 2021, but was released when the allegations surfaced in January of 2023 with an 194-game suspension. Essentially, it was like the next year and a half worth of games. And he now plays for the Yokohama Dina Bay Stars in Japan. Yet another case on how this hashtag believe all women society or environment not only hurts men, but it also hurts women as well. In it being that women that actually have real claims against men, it is more so likely that they're going to be ignored because you have liars, scammers, clowns, and perpetrators like Lindsey Hill and that pop the balloon fraudster that are just making things up in order to extract money from a millionaire. This man's life.
And that is a fact. And I'm going to stop it right here. These men that's going through this shit, their whole lives is being ruined. And shout out to that Japanese baseball team for picking him up. When the MLB released him, all because they want to believe a lying ass bitch. All because these sports organizations would rather believe all women rather than believe the evidence, and not waiting until all this is situated. They were better off just suspending him until everything was said and done. Instead, they released him like all these other sports organizations. But it should not be a big deal. Fuck out of here. And as I stated before, this is why everybody is losing faith when it comes to these sports leagues. NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, NHL, you name it. These sports organizations would rather rush to judgment rather than taking a step back and see how these situations turned out. They did it to Bauer. They did it to Matt Ariza, Brian Banks. They did it to a whole lot of athletes. And this is the reason why I barely watch sports anymore. But nevertheless, I'm done with this. Again, shout out to MTR, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. If you want to watch the full video in its entirety, I'll leave it in the comment section. Go check it out. Tell them JD Miles sent you. But that's all I got for tonight. I'm done. I'm done with these lying ass, gold digging ass, false accusers. And I'm out this bitch. Later.